let's move on to what I am most excited to discuss in this little video, and that is Papo. Papo have released 3 of their designs for next year, and starting off, right off the bat, we've got a new sauropod, and I don't know if this is a coincidence or not, but it looks like it's an Amargasaurus. Now, looking at the 2 side by side, I think I'm going to give this one to Safari Limited for sculpture, but I think I prefer the coloration and overall look of this Amargasaurus with Papo. I think the paint job just looks a little more subtle, a little more nuanced, which is what we've come to expect for Papo and when compared to Safari Limited. Although Safari Limited is far more accurate, and I know that's a big deal for some people. It's not a huge deal for me, but as you can see, it does have the classic sort of sail connecting all of those Amargasaurus neck spines, which has been disproven. They would have just been spines, not a sail. It would have hindered movement. Also, it could just be the photo, but I think the neck looks a little on the short side. Only time will tell with that one, but overall, I really like the paint job. I think that's my favorite part about this figure, is the coloration that they have decided to go with. Not my favorite, but next we have got the Iguanodon from Papo, and holy crap, this one looks pretty darn awesome. I mean, Iguanodon is another very famous dinosaur, but if you try to name off some good images or good toy versions of Iguanodon, you're gonna come up with maybe one, and that is Safari Limited's. And honestly, I think this Iguanodon looks even better than Safari Limited's Iguanodon from 2016. It's got a very active walking pose. It's got a very subtle but interesting paint job. It's got a nice pattern, and this is interesting for Papo. Usually just their carnivores have articulated jaws, but it looks as if this Iguanodon has a jaw that will open and close, which I think will be great for display purposes. You can have a herd of Iguanodons, some of them roaring, some of them mouth closed, just walking forward. But yes, it looks like they have all the classic Papo details crammed in on top of all of that. So this is definitely 2 thumbs up from Papo. Can't wait to add this one to my collection. But next up is my favorite, and that is the Therizinosaurus. This is a huge coincidence for me, because just yesterday I was thinking no one has made a decent Therizinosaurus toy. I mean, you've got Schleich, and their Therizinosaurus toy is just never been good. Safari Limited's Therizinosaurus toy, their great dinosaur collection, that one isn't very good. I think the best Therizinosaurus toy would either be one that isn't even Therizinosaurus, and that's the Bapiasaurus from the Carnegie collection, or the Bullyland Therizinosaurus. And honestly, neither of those are that incredible in and of himself. But then you get to Papo's here, and my gosh, this thing is beautiful. I have issues with it, I definitely do. I mean, it's Papo, they're gonna have some issues, but overall, this thing looks incredible. It looks like it's a tripod. I can forgive it because we know Therizinosaurus would have had a much more upright position than other dinosaurs. It would have stood much higher instead of parallel to the ground. So I can forgive the fact that they tilted this one up and made it a tripod figure. The arms seem like they are just a little short. The claws seem a little short as well. And also, the most obvious fact is, this thing is not fully feathered. And, you know, all the other Therizinosaurs are feathered, such as Bapiasaurus, we know that. So it feels like this one should definitely be fully feathered. And it's not. It feels like it's naked. But that being said, I do like that the fact that they still included all of this skin detail in place of those feathers. I mean, you can have a naked dinosaur as long as it's sculpted well, in my opinion. But yeah, I know people are gonna complain about this one. Not me! I think this is great. It's gonna have an articulated jaw, it's got a very cool pose, and, you know, I honestly thought Papo needs to make a Therizinosaurus toy, and if they did, I thought it would look something like this, so I'm very happy that I am getting pretty much what I expected out of this figure. An interesting area of note, though, is that it does not have articulated arms, which, you know, I mean, the Schleich Therizinosaurus toy has articulated arms. The Bullingland Therizinosaurus toy has articulated arms, and it just seems like so many toy companies, with the fact that this thing has such huge claws, they want to make the arms articulate. Papo has static arms, but you can open and close the mouth. You know, honestly, I appreciate the fact that you can, I do like that you can pose the arms on some of those toys, and I kind of wish you could do that on this one, but this pose is so active, and I feel like the arms just so perfectly match the pose that this thing is making that I'm not going to complain that those arms are static. I mean, I can't move the legs. Why would I move the arms? I can move the mouth. I'm happy. This figure looks great and will definitely be the first one that I buy from Papo this year, followed by the Iguanodon. I might pick up the Amargasaurus. I'm not too thrilled with it, but especially compared to these two. But yeah, that's what we're looking at for this year from Papo. Now, in terms of collecta, I am not a huge collecta fan. You could say I do not collect collecta figures. However, they are releasing a figure that has me very, very excited, and that is the estemenosuchus. And right off the bat, I mean, you know, if you're not a collecta fan, you could still get excited over this figure because it just looks beautiful. And I love all of the Permian dinosaurs, or not dinosaurs, excuse me, the early reptiles, like Dimetrodon, Lycinops, estemenosuchus, Scutosaurus. I think all of those are really cool animals, and the fact that some companies are taking it upon themselves to give them proper recognition is very cool to me. And estemenosuchus is one of the coolest looking ones there is, with all of its various skull ornamentation going on there. And what's really cool about this figure is it's going to be fairly large. I think it's 1/20th scale, as was their Dimorphodon. So fairly large figure, and it's going to have an articulated jaw. So yes, great job on Collecta's part releasing this kind of figure and doing so in a way that just emphasizes how cool this thing looks. I mean, I am very excited for when this one gets released. I will definitely be picking it up. And that will just about do it for our look at the new for 2018 dinosaur toys. And I want to know, obviously, what you all think of all this stuff. I threw a lot of information at you today, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What's your favorite? What are you looking forward most to getting? Are you happy with the lineups? What would you have rather had? Let me know all of that stuff down in the comments below. As I said before, I promise to get those other reviews out to you guys sooner or later. It will happen one way. Come hell or high water, I will do it for you guys. And thank you for your patience. I hope this video sort of placated you guys for a little bit anyway, before I have a chance to do something a little more involved, a little more time-consuming when I put it together. But yes, thank you guys once again for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed my talk, if you feel I earned it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss anything else from Old Killer Shrew Fan here, and we will see you in our future videos.